Hey everyone, quickly gonna redo the Berimbau video from yesterday because the microphone was on voice isolation. So you didn't hear too much. So you just heard my blabbing and you didn't hear the Berimbau. That was the important part. So basically, I wanted to share with you some things I like to do to combine my meditation with practicing instruments. Actually, anytime you're doing percussion or playing an instrument, it's an opportunity, it's a window to become meditative because you can take your full concentration and put it just into that action and get a beautiful feedback. And it's very easy, especially for people that are just trying to begin to get into the meditation space. It's very easy to do it through percussion and through music. I know that for me, for many years, it was the only form of meditation that my monkey brain would allow me to do because I could not sit and close my eyes for even 10 seconds. But I would find myself once in a while playing Berimbau and suddenly, boom, 30 minutes fly out the window and I don't even notice, or practicing a song or practicing a drum. So let's remember that that is the original or maybe one of the first forms of a communication. Yeah, is creating some kind of vibration or frequency that sends a message. A lot before there was countries and languages and flags and millions of years ago, it connects us to something very very deep and ancient. Also, on a personal note, each one of us was baked in his mother's stomach for 8 months. And from the second we had some kind of consciousness, basically what we heard is boom, 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 boom. So even before we were born, we were already hypnotized by rhythm. And there is something very nice about getting back to that in these crazy times. So if you find yourself a little bit stressed out, maybe overthinking, or maybe one of those days where you feel that you've had too much time on the phone, I recommend, to have some instruments around and go for some of these sessions. So if you're just a beginner for the Berimbau in the level 1 course, there are so many exercises with Ms. Feadura and myself teaching you how to start playing. And in the beginning, when you just start to play, it's already a meditation, because just to balance this thing on your little finger and just to hold the rock and just to get into position and just to make the noise, it requires 120% of your concentration. So actually beginners, when they're playing, they are totally in a meditative state, just by making the noises. Right? There's one exercise I like in particular because I can do it with some other music in the background, and it's not a capoeira rhythm, so it takes me a little bit out of that, which is a the exercise that we showed, which is an open sound, 3 times shue with the rock slightly touching, and a top sound. So even though there's very few sounds on the berimbau, it's very fun and challenging to be able to get the same quality of sound every time. And this requires focus and many hours of practice. So for example, you can go like this. So you see, when I start, I'm not so used to the rock. It takes me a few times to understand how much pressure the shue sound here acts almost like a hi-hat in a drum set. So it almost like a square rhythm. Boom cha cha cha, boom cha cha cha, boom cha cha cha, boom. Now, in the beginning, it's fun to do, starting as slow as you can and finishing maximum speed, This used to be the exercise that my teacher used to give us as teenagers. He understood that teenagers need this challenge of going as fast as you can, then starting over. Or another way of doing it, if you already have a more stable, patient mindset, you can put a clock, yeah, a timer, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and try to keep the same rhythm. So that's for beginners. If you still don't have so much control of the berimbau, 5 minutes a day. Boom, cha, cha, cha. Okay, but now let's take it next level. Yeah, for people that have already been doing it for a while and want to do it a little bit more interesting. So lately, I've been experimenting with different ways of tuning the berimbau. Of course, if you're playing just one berimbau and there is no context of another instrument, any sound is good, right? The only tuning starts when we have something and another thing, and then we need to have a relationship between them, right? So this kind of tuning that I've been playing around with lately, I find it very meditative. It's trying to put the berimbau somewhere in the neighborhood of 528 hertz. What's hertz? What's 528? What are all these numbers that when you start looking for frequency? So our frequency is a wave, right? And a hertz is one full wave. It's one up and one down. That's 1 hertz. So 528 hertz is this thing happening 528 times in a second. And that creates a certain kind of sound. If you do it 440 times per second, yeah, if you create a wave that goes 440 times per second, it's the classic A, La, A from, yeah, so you see if you look closely at the guitar, at the strings, you see that they're moving as a wave. That is 444 times a second, creating the common sound that we recognize as human beings as A or La. And this pushes the air, right? It pushes the air at 44 hertz a second. This air gets touched on our eardrum, which is basically a frequency receiver, and we hear that sound. Of course, we know that in nature there are sounds that we cannot hear, that only dogs can hear, or only bats can hear, right? But in the spectrum of what humans can hear, this is what we're talking about. So 528 of these waves would be a vibration that is recognized as the heart chakra vibration that sits in the middle of your chest, not exactly to the left where the heart is, but a little bit to the middle. Yeah, there's the solar plexus, the solar chakra, and then the heart chakra. So if you go on YouTube and you go down this rabbit hole, you're gonna enjoy it. Okay, and you can put some music that is 528 in the background. That is very meditative music, and you can play with the berimbau. So how are you going to set your berimbau that it sounds good? First of all, you can just move the cabasa up and down until you find something that sounds good to you. If it sounds good to you, it's good already, okay? But if you want to go a little bit more specific, then we need a tuner. Where is my tuner? Here we go. Okay, so most tuners are in a standard modern tuning that is 440 hertz. Okay, so if you go, where is it? Here, you see 440. Most tuners that you buy, you just show 440. You cannot change it, and then you're on the standard tuning of modern music. Most music is recorded in 440, but there used to be music recorded differently. That's a whole other way of going around it. Okay, but if you buy a tuner that has the little button that can change the hertz, then you can start getting a little bit creative. So, by the way, they're not more expensive. They cost exactly the same thing. It's like $7 or $6, okay, on Amazon. They're very simple. But then, if you go to 440 hertz, I hope you can see it. Ooh, what am I doing here? Yeah, 440 hertz. So if you go to 440 hertz and you put the berimbau on a G sharp. Sharp is when it has the dial button number, this tic tac toe. If you put it on a G sharp in the middle, yes, or on a C sharp or on a D, you're gonna get a beautiful sound that goes together with the 528 hertz beat. I'm gonna show you right now. I'm gonna go to YouTube and just randomly choose one that I found here that I liked. All right, I hope you can hear it this time with the microphone. Okay, so what they do, because the clear note of 528 is just one note. It's a little bit like it's not comfortable for our ear. This is the note. So that note exists inside that music, but they put some percussion, they put some other, melodic melodies on it, so it sounds good. Yeah, I hope you guys can hear it. And now, when you take your berimbau, it will resonate inside that area, and it will create a kind of more fuller sound. You're gonna feel it like vibrating, especially if the berimbau is low. The lower the berimbau is, the looser the string is. You're gonna get more of this wow 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 wow, this echo, which is very nice for the meditative part, not for the hoda necessarily. So a good place to start. We want to have mostly exercises with the open note. I'm not even gonna use the rock in the beginning. I'm gonna use the Miugio variation. When we play Miugio, there is the regular rhythm, and then there is a variation to call the players to do all the swings, all the dancing. Yeah, it's a very swingy rhythm, and I like to use it, so it sounds like this. If you go for a few minutes, you're gonna feel that the air that's coming out of the cabasa, you're gonna start feeling it resonate inside yourself because you're full of water. Yeah, we are full of liquids inside, and the liquids, they also resonate when they are hit with the frequency. Yeah, so you might feel a nice vibration in your chest. And I don't know if you can hear it, but it's creating a very strong vibration. Another beautiful rhythm that works for me in this meditation exercise is the yuna, because the yuna has a lot of open sound also. Yeah, it's mostly variation on the open sound. Tanj, 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 tanj. Actually, it doesn't even have a high sound. Yeah, but now you get to practice a lot of your shue. Yeah. And then I find myself getting lost. When we play at home, we can hold the baqueta a little bit more in the middle and a little bit softer, because we're not looking for so much power like in the hoda. We need to, we need to project the sound of the berimbau so everybody can hear it. But when you're at home, you can also play very, very softly. Yeah. Enjoy, guys. See you soon.